On this episode of Inside the Blueprint, we'll gain insight into a compliant analytical testing lab, discuss innovative synthetic grass systems, see smart lighting solutions, learn about a whole new level of insulations, plus lots more. Bringing medicine from development to patients takes years due to the enormous amount of data that is needed to demonstrate safety and efficacy. What can be done so that good medicine can reach patients sooner? Can a single laboratory make a difference? Commercializing a product needs support from a lab to provide sophisticated technical data with highest quality, fast. That lab is Valentia Analytical.
Valentia Analytical serves primarily the biotech industries, the pharmaceutical industries, and medical device. Valentia Analytical's capabilities resides in the development of analytical methods used to test the purity of biopharmaceutical products. We test the purity to show that they are safe and efficacious for patients to have.
Valentia Analytical knows the difference between good data and satisfactory data, and that good data lead to faster product development. This means medicine can get to patients sooner.
Good data is predictable. It's concise. You're able to clearly understand what the story is from looking at the data. Not just an individual piece, but data that's been compiled over months and years. Good data will not necessarily take longer to generate. It is a function of strong systems that are present prior to the generation of the data. And that's what Valentia Analytical has. Strong systems in order to obtain good data. Drug sponsors have a lot in front of them in order to present to the FDA or the regulatory agencies that these drugs are safe and efficacious for patients to have. Some of the services that we provide are theories on the analytical methodologies. It's really helpful to the drug sponsors to understand not only the data that they see, but how that data is generated from this method. It serves to empower them even more in being able to tell how these drugs behave and how these drugs are characterized.
The pivotal role of analytical testing is to generate data to make transparent the product's identity, strength, purity, quality, and safety.
We achieve better data primarily through instrumentation and people. Instruments need to be clean, well maintained by trained, qualified people. We have rigorous cleaning procedures that ensures no cross-contamination. All this leads to highly sensitive data so that we can separate signal from noise. We generate data over months and years. Every data point is attributable. We know who did it. It's legible, that you can actually read it, that it's contemporaneous, that it's really done at the time, that it's original, and that it's accurate. Data integrity is not just about following principles. In addition to state-of-the-art instrumentation, we've invested in sophisticated computerized data systems that help maintain data integrity.
The art of analytical testing is in revealing the unseen. Methods must be developed specifically for the product to maximize sensitivity and reproducibility, combining state-of-the-art technologies with years of experience.
One of the latest technologies is ultra-high performance liquid chromatography. We use these instruments to separate components. The better you can separate, the better you can quantify. These are fantastic technologies that we invested in. It helps to build better data. The data that come out of them have to have the highest integrity, and they have to be maintained. So we have our LIMS systems and our scientific data management systems on secured servers that are backed up daily.
Remember, better data is achievable when combining robustly developed methods, state-of-the-art technologies, well-maintained instrumentation, robust training programs, and commitment to data integrity.
The future of Valentia Analytical is to be a center of excellence in analytical testing, in data integrity, inspiring the younger generation to improve quality of data make it even better in the future than what we have now, make drug development faster, ultimately get medicine to patients sooner.
For more information about Valentia Analytical, visit their website, valentiaanalytical.com. And of course, visit our website, insidetheblueprint.com. Baseball's come a long way since Babe Ruth. All sports have, but none more so than baseball. From little leagues to big leagues, the game is more competitive, more demanding than ever, requiring legendary skill, lightning reflexes, and crowd-pleasing performance. And the field, especially artificial turf, that athletes run, catch, and perform on, must meet the 21st century challenge.
For the last 37 years of my career, my emphasis has always been on player safety, protecting players, ideally not having them get injured. So I really got involved with this artificial turf study to make sure that this was the best possible synthetic field for our players to play on.
Globe Life Park, home of the Texas Rangers since 1994, remains. But in March 2020, the team relocated across the street to brand new Globe Life Field. A huge part of the 21st century cutting-edge venue is a cutting-edge playing surface, manufactured by Shaw Sports Turf, one of North America's leading synthetic turf companies.
The fact that we went out and we benchmarked well-manicured natural grass playing environments, and in those tests we take 7 specific metrics. Those metrics break down into 3 areas. One is really player to surface interactions. One is traction and how that player behaves on the surface, and then also energy return, and really how the ball interacts with the surface. The goal is to mimic well-manicured natural grass playing environment, and through our research, we've been able to do that.
Texas Rangers and other teams, after decades of playing on natural grass and 2 decades of intense research on field surfaces, athlete and ball mechanics, decided the benefits of playing on Shaw Sports synthetic grass surfaces was simply too good to pass up.
Shaw had a commitment to getting the baseball surface right that was different than any other manufacturer that we did on our preliminary visit. And then in subsequent visits, they demonstrated a commitment to baseball and to baseball playing surface that was beyond anyone else.
Shaw Sports Turf prides itself on being at the industry and manufacturing forefront for better performing, safer, and more durable synthetic sports turf fields. As that leader, more and more sports teams, from little leagues to big leagues, are turning to Shaw Sports Turf for energy-efficient, water-saving, and big league cutting-edge solutions.
The main reason Paragon Sports Constructors decided to partner with Shaw Sports Turf Systems was their devotion to research and development. And basically, they're not doing what nobody else in the business is doing. We've worked with a lot of the other major manufacturers, and Shaw by far and away is light years above everybody else.
Installation of the new synthetic turf began in late February 2020, requiring 2 weeks of precision teamwork from start to finish.
Some fields now, it's a rubber pellet with a sand combination. That's what Toronto and Tampa Bay have. But we're actually playing with a new product with Shaw, which is actually an organic infill. So it's a ground up coconut shell, and it acts and feels and looks like a natural dirt.
So the turf system here is specifically designed for baseball. There's the B1K shock pad underneath the turf system here, and the turf is a very dense product, specifically with 2 tones of color to look very natural on TV and play just like natural grass. This field was benchmarked off the old Texas Rangers field.
When an organization as disciplined as the Texas Rangers does its homework, the payoff can be, well, like batting 1,000.
Well, the turf is nice. It feels like grass. The technology of this grass is made to feel like you're playing in regular grass. I think it's going to be a very good surface for the players to play.
We we are thrilled to have the Shaw surface on this field. We went to all the manufacturers on the synthetic side and said, listen, we are not even going to consider this unless you can deliver to us the best playing surface in Major League Baseball.
It's looking good, Chuck. It's really great. As you can tell, it's pretty close right now.
So one more lift of sand and then geofill.
That is correct.
We're going to turn it over to Dennis and his group.
Right. Let the grounds guys get on it and figure out how to moisture condition and maintain, and should be able to maintain it pretty easily.
Well, it looks great. Y'all have done an outstanding job on it.
Thank you. We're very proud of it.
To learn more about Shaw Sports Turf 20 years of excellence in over 3,000 field and stadium installations, and how Shaw Sports can help propel your organization into the 21st century both on and off the field, visit shawsportsturf.com. Or to view this segment again, visit us at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Launched in 2000 in Gardena, California, a small company dedicated to the idea of environmentally conscious, sustainable production of lighting products, Visionaire Lighting quickly expanded in both reputation and size.
From the beginning, we started doing smaller scale jobs, everything from parks to sports facilities, and then got into automotive lighting. And as the company grew, we got into more large scale projects like smart cities and street lighting.
Fred, the president and owner of our company, was also involved in tennis, and so they wanted to start doing tennis lighting. And so we initially started by lighting tennis courts with HID, or high intensity discharge lamps.
Our company initially started with just assembling products, and over the years, we brought more and more processes in-house. Now today, we are a completely vertically integrated company who manufactures all of its different components here in our facility.
The advent of commercially viable solid-state, or LED lighting, was the first significant change in the industry in over 100 years.
The new technology that Visionaire has and why it's going to make us stand out is because an open platform, it's a single pane of glass. Currently, in today's lighting market, if I am with a university or if I'm with a city, I want to be able to control my lights, I want to be able to control my parking sensors, my oxygen sensors, any kind of thing, and any time I want to do that, I have to do that on a separate login, a separate program. What's unique to Visionaire is we're an open protocol, which means we have different devices from different manufacturers that we could bring in and all operate on our own user interface.
Because solid-state lighting was essentially a small computer, it enabled other connected devices to interface with lighting for the first time at this level. This was the birth of smart lighting.
The technology that I developed was a platform, a very agnostic, unique platform where we could have multiple softwares on one pane of glass. So I could actually take it to where I could bring in 3 or 4 different types of software, bring it into one, and be able to visualize everything on a single pane of glass.
In the light fixtures there's a real estate. There's a platform inside there which allows that. The light itself's not detecting that movement, but there would be a computer or brain chip that's inside that platform that allows you to be able to signal what's going on based on the camera.
Visionaire manufactures its own printed circuit boards in-house in its Surface Mount Technology, or SMT, facility. Each board is individually tested and analyzed for quality. This ensures the elevated level of product quality and longevity.
We have robots doing injection molding, making the optics for our LED fixtures. We have a SMT room, which is surface mount technology, which will pick an LED off of a reel and place it onto our printed circuit board. We have a pattern shop, or sandcasting for die cast.
Just like the smartphone's evolution over the years, Pangea Link technology will integrate with applications we haven't even imagined yet. There's a street light almost every place you look, which can support this technology in the future.
When you talk about the future and the application, it's really unlimited, and it's allowed us to continue to keep desiring the city's wants and needs and learning them as they're learning them at the same time.
The great thing about our technology is it's really future-proof. Because we are an open-ended platform, that means that whatever you have currently today, if you're happy with it, that's great. But if you realize you have a need and you need to incorporate something else into that system, you could do that in the future. So if you want to bring cameras onto it, if you want to bring smart water meters onto it, you're allowed to do that in the future because it's an open-ended platform.
The future for Visionaire is actually very, very bright. We're really developing things today and future-proofing our fixtures to where people can actually have access to this stuff 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. As you know, software never stops. It's always an evolving thing. So in some cases, we know where we are today, but it could change in 24 months. It could be a totally different technology. So we're trying to stay on the cutting edge of that.
For more information about this new technology, please visit visionairelighting.com. Where does innovation come from? More often than not, it stems from a need or a problem that requires a solution. This is what inspires the engineers, technicians, and research scientists at Owens Corning. Owens Corning is not only a world leader in insulation, they've taken it to a whole new level altogether. Insulation used to be thought of as just a way to keep in and/or keep out heat and cold. But the folks at Owens Corning have been developing and manufacturing some of the most dynamic and functional insulation in the biz. Now, when talking about insulation, you should include descriptors like acoustics and fire resistance. In a business where innovation is the name of the game, Owens Corning isn't afraid to push the envelope to stay ahead of the competition.
My name's Julian Francis. I'm the president of the insulation business at Owens Corning. And in that capacity, I have accountability for the global operations of the insulation business. Today, Owens Corning consists of 3 businesses: our roofing business, our insulation business, and our glass fiber reinforcements business, all really founded on the basis of glass fiber, the invention back in 1938. And then after the post-war boom in construction of single-family homes, the insulation business really started to take off. Residential construction is probably where we're most famous, with our iconic pink insulation that was introduced as early as 1950s. In 2013, we bought into a business, we acquired a business called Thermafiber, which is a mineral wool product. So actually it's made of waste material from steel manufacturing, but it melts at a much higher temperature, and so it's very, very good at both its thermal performance, but also its fire-resistive properties.
Angie is a technical services leader with Owens Corning, who develops fire control systems using mineral wool as insulation.
Owens Corning Thermafiber pioneered the first perimeter fire containment system. And we designed these life safety systems around our mineral wool insulation products. And so it's systems like this that we install in some of the high-rise buildings like One World Trade Center. So a perimeter fire containment system is constructed primarily out of mineral wool insulation. And really, the mineral wool insulation is the workhorse behind the assembly, just because it can resist very high temperatures for a very long period of time. We have containment systems that offer protection up to 3 hours, so that it allows more time in a building for people to evacuate safely. Over here we have a representation of a curtain wall in an exterior high-rise building. We see the Thermafiber Owens Corning mineral wool insulation is covering and protecting a portion of that exterior wall. The critical part of the assembly, though, is really the barrier. And this is where you have a joint between the floor slab and the exterior curtain wall. Now imagine if you did not fill that void with any material, fire would have a free path to spread from floor to floor.
Today we're using the ASTM E84 Steiner tunnel to assess the surface burning characteristics of our mineral wool insulation. So in the E84 tunnel test, the sample is top loaded in a ceiling orientation so that when the flames come up, they hit the bottom of the sample, just like on every sample, even comparison samples. From there, it depends on what the product is made of. We'll then determine how far down the flame front travels down the surface of the material. These are the results from the ASTM E84 Steiner tunnel test. We get a flame spread index and a smoke developed index, and those help us meet the codes.
This particular apparatus is the E119 small-scale quarter wall test. So basically, this is a wall furnace, and this would be our mock curtain wall, insulated with the mineral wool insulation. And we would have a window opening here on the full-scale test. We'll fill this room with fire, and we'll get to temperatures well above 1800 degrees Fahrenheit to demonstrate the fire-resistive performance of the wall system itself.
Owens Corning's Thermafiber insulation is not only flame resistant, but it also has noise reduction capabilities.
I'm Corey Taylor. I'm the technical lead for the Acoustic Research Center. This is where we design, develop, and evaluate the acoustic performance of our material. So we're going to be running our ASTM E90 test, and this evaluates the sound performance from room to room. The only way sound energy is going to get from our source room to our receive room is through the wall partition that we have in place. So we're going to start this test, and what we're actually measuring is the sound pressure levels over time. So these are the levels of our source room, and here we can see that we are about 95, 97 decibels in our source room. And if we look at the receive chamber, the levels in there are around 60 decibels, just a little under. So what that tells us is that the wall that we have in place is mitigating approximately 30 decibels of sound at this one particular frequency.
Not all Thermafiber products are created equal. We need different product designs for different applications. Our light density products are designed for interior applications to ensure that our homes are quieter, more comfortable, and safer in the event of a fire in a residential zone. On the other hand, our heavy density products are better used in perimeter applications on the outside of buildings to deliver that superior fire performance that is required.
We focus very deeply on the overall performance of the building. So not just from a thermal standpoint as when people think about insulation, but also acoustics, life safety, and then the overall performance of the building through a building science outlook, moisture protection, air infiltration. So many of these things we design into our products. It's not just about insulating a home thermally against cold or against heat, but also the performance of the building as a whole, acoustics, fire, how it interacts with other systems in the building. And that means we just have to be experts in the building science.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show, or to become part of Inside the Blueprint, go to our website, InsideTheBlueprint.com.